So the next thing we're going to go over is the Design Center. So go to the Insert tab, and down here at the end is going to be the Design Center. When you click on the Design Center, this whoops, not that one. This pops up, okay? And for the individuals with Civil 3D, you do not have that button. So if you ever lose that button, or you go to somebody else's computer and they don't have that Content Design Center button, all you have to do is type in AD, which pops up AD Center, okay? Which is your Design Center, and then hit Enter. This pops up. What you're going to do is it should pop up underneath Sample. If you look at the notes, it actually says that it pops up underneath the Design Center, but it doesn't do that. You actually have to go to the ENUS, okay? It's underneath. It does give you to Sample, but then you have to actually go to ENUS. So take note of that because the notes are wrong. So when you click on Design Center, ours here at school will go to Sample. From there, go to ENUS, and then you've got the Design Center here. Okay? We could path it, but that's a little bit more advanced than this class. So you've got all these different options. You've got the landscaping, and each one of these has blocks in it, and you can see the different types of blocks. There's kitchen drawings. Anything with that's a block, we'll be using blocks. But let's say I want to use a microwave, okay? So I'm going to pull this over a little bit. So I grab this and I drop it into my plans, okay? There's my microwave. It's a bit big. And here's the other thing. If you look at this, I'm going to move this completely off the screen. If I click on this, the scale is 1:1, okay? But if I measure this, if I actually measure, how big is a typical microwave? 2 feet? How many? 24 inches, 2 feet. So if I did a dimension on this, you always have to be really careful with when you grab something to make sure that it comes in correctly. If you type in, and I think it's one of the commands is INS, oops, let me escape out of it, INS units, right here, where it says INS units, make sure that says 1, okay? Typically, objects are drawn to scale. So they drew that microwave. They drew that microwave at a 1:1 scale. So it is 24 inches. But if an object is drawn and created as a block, and we'll get into blocks later in the next class, if it's drawn incorrectly and it's drawn half size, then you need to scale it up or scale it down. Just FYI. Be aware of that. Okay? So you can grab any type of block you want. I think one of the homeworks is to grab, I'm not sure what.
Piano, isn't it?
A grand piano. So in one of the homeworks, you grab the bathtub, and you're plopping it into one of your previous homeworks. So this is where you get your information. Okay? It's underneath the Design Center, and it should be underneath like House Designer maybe. See if there's any blocks in there. There's the doors, there's HVAC, there's Home Spacing Planner.
That's the
Yeah, the Home Spacing Planner is what you're going to be looking for. So you can get a couch, the kitchen area you want to fill out with the kitchen equipment. So this is where you're going to get the information, okay? And just drag it and drop it into your drawing, the apartment drawing or the cottage drawing, whichever it is, okay? All right, so let me take a look. Yeah, in the notes it's make sure that it's INS units is to 1 to make sure that it comes into the correct size. But be aware that whoever drew the block may have not drawn it to scale, and get an idea, okay, is a couch really supposed to be, 20 feet long? Well, if you're living in a mansion, maybe, but my house, a 20-foot couch is, going to stick outside the house at one point. So anyway, make sure everything is to scale. So we've gone over all of the commands that we're going to be using this week. I'm going to stop here, and then we'll just kind of quickly go over what we anticipate for the homework.